Hey, what's up, guys? This is Josh from the company formerly known as UncleArnie'sTackle.com. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a fun little demo just on, basically how I make molds with an SLA printer. What I'll do is it's going to be a little bit different style video where I'm going to have this introduction and then we'll just do all the instruction over here, and I'll just try and narrate it. But getting back to what we're doing today, so there's a couple ways you can make molds with the SLA printer. Typically I use my FDM. The difference is one's going to use it's a laser and it's going to cure the resin kind of layer by layer. And here what it's doing is, it's adding basically a layer of plastic, usually PLA or ABS, one at a time. These are extremely more detailed. The trade-off is it is way more expensive. So a 1 kilogram roll of ABS filament, maybe like 19 bucks shipped to your door through Amazon, pretty affordable. And then 1 liter, so by weight, pretty much the same thing, of resin for my Formlabs here is $200. So you can imagine printing the whole molds is not super cost effective, especially when you can get a mold CNC'd for like $100 or $200. You're going to burn up like $40 to $60 in material just to actually make it with the printer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I got around that. This is an example of a lure that I've made. It's a shaky head lure is exactly what it is. These are actually... Alright, so step one is going to be pretty simple. You're going to build your box. Just introduce you to a couple of the baits we're going to do. This is basically the first one we're going to do. This is the same body as the Gucci Grub. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I fish a lot of this. This is actually my design. And what I did is I removed the G-tail off of it and I put a paddle tail with my moniker Shogun on there. I thought, I don't know, it looks kind of cool. But the idea that we're doing here is basically, we're trying to make a mold as inexpensively as we can. We want to get to the no as fast as possible if this tail's not going to kick. That way I know if I can get into it or not. The second we're going to lay up is going to be 2 different sizes. This is actually kind of just like a walleye swim bait I've been working on. So I got this one, I got one drying, curing upstairs. It's going to be a little bit longer, but we'll start with this. So step 1, build your box. Step 2, once your sprue extender is glued onto your bait, what you're going to do is you're going to glue it right in the middle. What I've done, and this is very important, is make sure when you got the height, make sure you're not going to eclipse that height by the widest part of your bait. So tail's the widest part of the bait as I'm looking down the barrel, or up the butt, I guess, rather. And so yeah, I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this up, and I will join back with you. Alright, so I got my volume here. Looks like it's about 362 centimeters squared. That's 362 milliliters, 362 ml. And so now what I can do, go through, I like to use these little cups because, I can just approximate them as a circle, and then that way what I can do is really easy to get my volume. So anyway. Alright guys, so we got our mold done, or partly done from last night. Looks pretty good. So these, I'm touching it and it seems like it's just about cured. I did two other molds at the same time, and I think I didn't put enough catalyst in them. And honestly, that's probably just because of my cheap little Harbor Freight thing here that turns off, so sometimes I end up guessing. So the pro tip I got for that is basically I'm gonna start administering it a little bit better. That way it doesn't pour out of this, should save some. But anyways, we'll get into that later. So right now what we need to do is put on our mold release. And so silicone sticks to silicone, that's what you need to understand. So you need a petroleum-based lubricant. That's why we have this right here. So what this is it's about 2/3 petroleum jelly, 1/3 mineral spirits, which is just, it's petroleum jelly's thin cousin. And then what I did is I put some powder in there, powder pigment. The reason I put powder pigment in there is because I want to be able to see where I've applied it on my mold. And so if I put the powder pigment in there, that way, the idea is I can kind of see where it's green everywhere on this. Creates kind of a nice backdrop. And yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so that looks pretty good. That looks alright. You can kind of see I got it at least everywhere. And a lot of guys will say, oh man, what's the deal? Why are you not putting, mold keys in there? And I don't do that because there's already a topology in that. It's not perfectly flat. There's little indentions. The second reason is it doesn't matter. This is just a really quick, rapid prototype. What we'll do if this all works out and this ends up being a good bait, because you got to remember, this was just something kind of sitting in my mind a week ago, and now we're going to see if it actually works. There's a big difference between something that looks cool and works good, so we're trying to get to the answer here. That's the purpose of this. So we got it all siliconed up. We'll build another couple layers of Legos here, and then I'll come back when we're ready to pour.